What is up, you guys? It's Chris here. Welcome back to the channel. It is time for another new video. Okay. Y'all know I'm not good at intros, so we're just gonna jump right in. We have experienced over the past couple of days a very, very dark time in our country. And I want to address that in a couple of ways. One, obviously, it's very, very real and scary what's happening and 100% not okay. But at the end of the day, the best thing that we can do is use our voices for what we believe in and standing up for what's right. So I just really encourage you guys to continue doing that. I know a lot of us are using our stories and our platforms and stuff to just share information, and that's the most important thing we can do right now. I'm so far away from everything that's happening right now, and you can't help but feel a little helpless, especially during a pandemic. The best thing we can do is share information, remaining as calm and as positive as we can. And I think there's real beauty and power in standing up for what you believe in and standing up for what is right. I just highly encourage you guys to continue to do that. It's definitely something very real and very scary that we are experiencing as a country right now, but there's clearly a right and there's clearly a wrong. And if you don't know which one that is, then you're probably a part of the problem. And the best thing we can do is just continue to show our support for what is right. So yeah, I just wanted to address that. I feel like it's important as an influencer and as somebody that has a platform that I just addressed that. The system is just unbelievably screwed up in this country and it needs reform so badly. And what happened 2 days ago is just a perfect example of that. We just need to keep fighting for change and fighting for reform, and someday violence and hatred and bigotry and homophobia and racism and misogyny and sexism won't win. And hopefully that day is soon. So just keep sharing your light and your love, and I'm going to keep doing the same. The best thing that we can do is keep our beliefs on the side of the things that we know is right. Anyways, I want to segue into what I actually wanted to do today on the video. I posted a story and I asked you guys to tell me what your New Year's resolutions are. And I kind of just want to go through and read some of the things that you said. I was kind of looking through them just to glance and see if it was, if this was even YouTube content. And I was reading some of them and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an incredible video. I'm not going to share names. I'm not going to share usernames. So they're completely anonymous. So if you sent me yours, don't worry. I'm not going to post your username anywhere. But yeah, I just wanted to share some of the things that you guys are trying to achieve in the new year. So wow, there's a lot. Oh my god. Starting off, very first one, we have be me, not who people tell me to be. And that already, right off the bat, that is such a good one. Wow, yeah, that's super important. Always be you. Don't ever be what anybody else tells you to be, because they're them. They don't know how to be you, only you know how to be you. And you have the best ability to do that because you're you. Just listen to yourself, don't listen to anybody else. Period. I love that. Moving on. Be a better version of myself without having to change my appearance. Yeah, that's deep. I feel like that's a big thing because there's so many facets of this world that are about changing your appearance and looking like something specific to be something specific. And I hate that. I think you should be able to look however you want and still be whoever you want. It shouldn't matter looks wise what you want to be. I think that's really good and very, very groundbreaking in thought, and I love that. To eat a real healthy dinner every night, no more skipping meals. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. I mean, I'm definitely guilty of having a really, really horrendous eating schedule. So yeah, I can hop on that one too. That's important. Giving your body some kind of a routine. Yeah. I like that. Okay. To learn to be more confident about myself. Okay. All right. Wow, y'all are really killing this right now. I've said this in a video, I think it was this summer. I said something about how if you fake confidence and you just kind of put out there that you're confident, even if you're not really feeling it, if you just act like you are, it eventually turns into real confidence. And I definitely still think that's true. Confidence and arrogance are very different. Arrogance is almost narcissistic in a way where you're just so focused on yourself that you can't see anything else going on around you. And confidence should help you be a better you to the people around you and help you be able to be your best self, which in turn will positively affect everybody around you. So Those two are very different. And I think looking at confident people and admiring what they do and kind of studying how they do that is a very good way to start to do that yourself. So the best thing you can do is start. I heard a quote the other day that was, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago and the second best time is right now. I really like that. I think that that's very prophetic and I think it's very true. And the best thing you can do is just start. Okay. To not be depressed and overcome my anxiety. Okay. There's two halves to that. Anxiety, the more research I do about it, and depression too, they are much deeper than just like something that you deal with. A lot of the times they're like chemically in our brains, and I say our because obviously I struggle with that stuff too. I talk about that. That is like a chemical imbalance in our brains. Depression and anxiety are like chemical alterations in our brains. So it's not just something that you like deal with and get over. It's something that you just have to learn to cope with. I know that my anxiety is never gonna go away, and probably neither will my depression. Like I'll always have spells. It's just something that I know I have to learn to live with. I think the best thing to do is to just learn how to manage it and to live a life that isn't controlled by it and not completely driven by depression and anxiety. To let it exist in ourselves, but not let it define who we are and control our every move. There's power in it. And I don't want it to be something for you that you have to feel like you have to get rid of it. There is control over it. We just have to work to find it. So that's a great resolution though, figuring out how to deal with it and to lead a life where it doesn't control us. The next one is drink water. Honestly, true. Me. I am very, very bad at drinking water. I need to drink more water all the time. I need to like carry around. I've been carrying around, but see, even this has Crystal Light in it. Like I've been carrying around the smart water bottle for a while and I'm trying to drink out of that, but even still there's I have to have flavor. But I'm trying to learn not to always have to have flavor. Water is good for you, just pure water. Moving forward, to create a healthy relationship with my body and take care of it physically and mentally. Oh my goodness gracious. There is a very, very, very real resolution in there. A couple of very real resolutions. I have a very, very unhealthy relationship with my body. Anytime that I feel like it's not to the standard where I was at one point or what other people are, I just get so annoyed with myself and I get so frustrated that I don't look like that anymore, that I don't look like that where I want to look. And it's so important to just like, have a good relationship with it, knowing that that's okay to not be your goal weight or whatever, and to just take care of yourself mentally and physically. Like there's so many things that like play factors into each other with our bodies, and it's just like really listening to what your body needs from you, I think is a really good place to start. Your body is a very, very sophisticated piece of equipment, for lack of a better word, and knows how to signal you with what it needs, especially mentally. So I think really paying attention to your mental health and letting that be a good place to start with your physical health is the best thing to do. And I'm learning how to do that too. I'm learning how to not let what I see and what I have been attached to from my past define what maybe I need right now in this present moment, especially during a pandemic and during everything that's going on right now in the world. Like just finding a healthy relationship with whatever you and your body need is like a really important thing to do, for sure. Next one is to find myself again. Wow, these are so like, oh my gosh. It's so crazy because these are all connected with like shit that I'm trying to do this year too. That's a process. And that's something that's so hard to put a timeline on. What I would advise you to do, again, all of this is just me kind of talking. You don't have to listen to anything I'm saying throughout this whole video at all. But what I would advise you to do is to not set a time limit on that. That's a very, very loaded goal to be able to accomplish in a year. Here's the thing, not that it can't be done in a year, but to put pressure on a time limit just makes you that much more stressed and anxious. And then when it doesn't happen how you imagine or plan it to, because that's not something that can just be planned. That has to be, like you said, found. To put a time limit on it is very restricting to the process of that. I think maybe a better thing to say would be to start the process of finding myself again, because that way you decide to do it but you don't have to necessarily get to an end goal by a set date and then be disappointed in yourself or with yourself, I guess, when that doesn't happen. I only say that because I've dealt with that in the past where I set goals for myself that are kind of, I don't want to say that this is unrealistic, but my goals in the past that I've set have been unrealistic. And then when they don't happen on the timeline that I set them to happen on, I get really frustrated with myself. For what? For something that I set, you know what I mean? So I think that's an amazing thing to start, and I highly recommend that you do that, but try to be patient with yourself and let yourself go through that organically. Okay, to be more intentional with my words. We have very limited time on this earth, and the words that we say are very important and very impactful. So yeah, speaking when you want to speak and being intentional about that, but also being intentional about when not to speak. And the words that you withhold from people also is something that you should be intentional with as well. Next one is to only eat fast food once a month. Whoa. All right, good on you. That is a EU resolution. I will be cheering you on from the sidelines and not partaking in that one. I just really don't think that I can do that. I love Taco Bell way too much to be able to only eat it once a month, especially because now Miss Nacho Fries are back, and oof, I think I've been twice in the last week. So proud of you. Good for you. Congrats on that. I will be waving my pom-pom for you from a distance. Dance more. Completely agree. I have not danced hardly at all this year, and I want to dance more next year for sure. Next one is watch more movies. Absolutely. Movies? Okay, another stigma moment. I feel like there's a stigma behind having resolutions that are relaxing and calming and not doing something. Why not have a resolution to relax more and watch more movies? Movies are amazing. First of all, they're so informative. I'm so fascinated by them. Plus, me and my generation, the millennials/Gen Zers, both the millennials and the Gen Z, the thing that we have in common is that we're so obsessed with work and working and work ethic and hustling and side hustling and whatever kind of hustling we do that we forget to take a break. And I think it's important to sometimes have resolutions that allow us to relax and be calm, because we're so focused on dreams and goals and achieving them and moving on to the next one and how can we keep making money and how can we keep working and blah, 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 blah. When in reality, we need to also bring it down a few notches sometimes and just watch a movie. So yeah, watch more movies. All right, we're down to the last two. The second to last one is respond to people's texts a lot quicker. And let me tell you, I am the worst at responding to text messages. So I am trying to get better at that myself. I am very triggered sometimes by text messages because I have been in a lot of relationships that have abused that and have abused the ability to communicate with people instantly with me. So sometimes when I get bombarded with text messages, I just shut down and I don't respond to any of them for days, which is a problem because a lot of the times people are trying to get info from me or just trying to reach out and say, hey, but I just am can't do it. I'm overwhelmed. And then I just put my phone away, which is really bad. And I need to stop doing that. I need to really just find it in my soul to do it, to just push past the drama and the anxiety that it brings me and just learn how to cope with that. And just respond to the quick text message. Even if it's just a quick response, communication at all is better than no communication at all. So I am learning that right along with you. And the very last resolution that we are going to address today is a very important one. And this person said to enjoy my life. Okay, let's unpack that. That's so important. I think, like I kind of said earlier, we're so focused on working and what's next and next and having this goal and completing it by that date and what's after that and blah, blah, blah. It's we need to just chill and we need to enjoy where we're at. We are so blessed to be alive. This has really been a year for me to really allow myself to be grateful for the things that I do have and not focusing on the things that I wish I had. There's so many things to be thankful for in the moment. And I think there's so many things about life to enjoy in the current present time. So yeah, I think us as a whole, as a nation, as a world, as a social media community, as friends, as significant others, as cousins, as uncles, as whatever we are to whoever is in our lives. We just need to be present in the moment and enjoying what we're doing and who we're doing it with. And I know it's COVID, so most of it's virtual, but even the fact that we have technology to be able to still communicate with people virtually is like really special. And like, rather than being upset about the fact that we can't be with the people that we want to be with, or that we can't travel, or that we can't do X, Y, and Z, be thankful and enjoy the moments that you can be with people, even if you're not necessarily with them. It's not all about what we don't have and what we wish we could be doing. It's more important to focus on what we do have and what we can do during this time. So I completely agree. I think we need to enjoy our lives more, and I think we need to be more present in the moment, 100%. Wow, oh my goodness. That was like a full therapy session. I needed to read those along with you guys. Those were super important to really just touch on and say, because I feel like that's so important that we really focus on just being more positive and just really spreading light and love. And I know 2020 was like the biggest show on planet Earth, but we have the ability to kind of do it again and do it right, because we at least know more this year. So I think we need to just like live it up. That's all I gotta say. I think it's just important that we remember to live. Time is very precious, and we need to make sure that we're making the most out of that 100%. But I wanted to share those with you guys because I think it's so important to have accountability and to kind of hear what everybody else is working on as well, so that you don't feel alone if you're struggling, or if you feel like your resolution is unattainable. I feel like we all have some unrealistic, unattainable resolutions at the beginning of 2021. But hey, you know what? Even if you don't accomplish a goal or a resolution, starting it is an accomplishment in and of itself. And even if you don't finish it, but you got farther than you ever have in any other year, hey, you know what? That is a celebration. So I am rooting for you. We are all rooting for you. And I am right there alongside you, working with you. I hope this year is amazing for you guys. I know the past couple of days have been a rocky start, but the best thing we can do, like I said in the beginning of this video, is just to keep spreading positivity and spreading love and reminding people what the right side of history is. So on that note, I bid you adieu, and I'm sending you guys all the love as we embark on this journey that is 2021. I love you guys, and don't forget to wear a mask and spread love like butter. Mwah. Bye.